Hey guys, this is episode 1 of the podcast. In today's episode, we talk about a whole bunch of different stuff from comedy to synths.
That's right. We get really dark into suicide and depression, but we also talk about some of the finer points of coffee to start with.
Yep.
Some of the aspects of the new podcast and what we're going to be achieving in the next year, as well as some of the things that we are proud of from our previous year as well.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Click
the buttons, do all those magic things, and make us TikTok famous.
Yes.
Hi everybody. Welcome to Broden and Cody Flow State. My name's Broden.
My name's Cody. It's good to be here.
That's right. It's time to flow. This is our new podcast in which we are going to have a chat with each other. This is my first coffee in weeks, which is great. Thank you for making that coffee for me. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, man. You're going to have coffee to have a chat, to get got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's rare for you.
It's very rare for me. I didn't know there were 2 6 o'clocks in the day. I thought it was just the one, and it happened, around dinner time. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, there's two 6 o'clocks. There's 2 every o'clock.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
2 13 o'clocks?
Yeah, you've lost me there.
Yeah, we're not doing military time, 1,300 hours.
1,300
it's the perfect
hours.
temperature. This is dangerous because this is the
Stuff.
gateway drug. This is the the marijuana to heroin progression. Not that I believe that's a thing.
The coffee. I think the real gateway drug is the alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone said to me at the gym yesterday, it's like no one's ever had a shot of heroin without having a beer first. And I was like, that's so true.
That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're talking about that's his method, or like he's like, nah, mate, I love me heroin, but I've got to have a beer first.
I'm not going to do it without a beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
But like the coffee that you've made me, Cody, out of your espresso, bloody with an X.
Espresso.
Out of your machine.
It made it really fast.
It's the perfect temperature. It's not hot. So hot.
That's how I have my coffee.
But it's not so cold because I would normally say if I'm going to have a coffee, I'd have it hotter.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't because it's just getting in me. That's why.
Yeah, I like to. It's my drugs. Coffee is my drugs, and I like to have it at this temperature. I can just go fucking bloom, just down the hatch. It's done.
And it's like, that theory about drinking, well, it's not a theory, it's a fact, about drinking your water at room temperature because it absorbs into your body super quick.
Oh, really?
That's why...
Instead of ice cold.
Yeah.
That's why it hurts you to drink ice cold. Have you ever chugged ice cold water?
And brain freeze and you get the throat sore.
Your chest hurts.
This coffee is soaking into your body so quick, and you like right now my brain's going...
Yeah, I can feel all my electronics going all over the
I equate it to, I feel like the coffee creature has grabbed hold of the back of my eyeballs and is just driving me now. And like what happens from here is not me, it's the coffee.
That's exactly what it feels like. Something's grabbing your eyeballs and it's like, I'm not in the driver's seat anymore.
That's why people like, they get withdrawal from coffee and they get snappy at each other.
Yeah.
That's because like coffee is the biggest socially acceptable drug in the world.
It is. It's a massive drug. There's people who like legitimately say, I can't start the day without having a cup of coffee.
Bullshit.
And that's true.
It's bullshit. You can.
You can do it, but you have a headache.
I couldn't possibly. It's like, motherfucker, if the bombs hit and the coffee was gone, you'd be okay.
You wouldn't worry. Yeah,
you wouldn't be like, oh my God, where's my coffee? You're like, millions of people have just died.
Yeah, true.
Get to work, rebuild, Get to safety.
They'd
be like, nah, I can't go without my Java. Do people still drink Java?
Java is coffee, isn't it?
I thought it was like a web protocol.
Yeah, it is. It's a firmware.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, you're right. People are wankers. Absolutely. I can't start the day without my coffee.
Yes, you can, you bastard.
I bet I could get you going without a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Imagine showing up to their house with a weapon pointed at them, loaded.
Yeah.
And
do you want to make a cuppa?
And you've already left a shot off it. You blown a shot into the ceiling. That'll get you going, get your heart. It'll be the same effect, actually.
It will, yeah. It'll fucking jolt. It'll jolt you into action.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So let's. We've had a pretty big year of last year, 2019. I think.
Anyway. We have. We got together and we what did we do? We did a live show. We did a full series of a web series. Great. You did a whole bunch of stuff. EP. Some artwork for a band.
That's good.
It was great. Yeah, and
you quit your job.
I quit mid-job. I quit two jobs. 2 jobs in 1 year.
That's right.
Which is good.
Took a couple of big steps in some different directions.
Yep.
We got cracking on. I learned how to edit. You already knew. You taught me how. You know, did a masterclass for me in a couple of hours.
Yeah, that edit masterclass. It was good. Yeah,
it was a good time. So we as everybody listening knows, well, hopefully, because that's probably the only way they heard about this. We did a series called Eats. Broden and Cody Eats.
Yep. That's right.
It was a good time. We basically just get together and cook some food to varying degrees of success.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on YouTube or the Facebook page.
There'll be a link probably in some description that this appears in, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I suppose a good question, why did we do that?
I think from memory, we sat down and we had dinner one night and we both enjoy cooking. We both enjoy cooking mainly 2 things, burgers and toast, and that's it. And we thought, well, let's just do a show. I think we had a good time because we rehearsed a lot for the live show that we did.
I recall you saying at the end of it, I fucking hate comedy. I'm sick of this, because we rehearsed so many times.
Yeah, we
rehearsed.
But
I know that you didn't mean it. You were just like, fuck, I'm burnt out after this.
It does, because every night you're just going through.
That's it.
The live show was good, but I think it was because of the live show and the amount of fun that we had.
Oh, fuck yeah. But the reason I wanted to rehearse so much is because I was underprepared and I'd never done it before. And I think for my benefit, that I think that the rehearsal worked for me really well. But I can understand how you were burnt out from it. Well,
the fact that it was something new that I did, which added to because comedy, for me lately, has just gotten so mundane and boring, and it's just repetitive. It's because I'm not doing a lot of it, so it's always sort of the same. But to do something new with the music and stuff that we did in the live show, that really added an aspect of it brought some enjoyment back for me, which was good.
Awesome, man.
But the rehearsing was definitely something that was needed because of the amount of shit that we had. We had cues. We fucked up a couple of times, but no one would have noticed.
We covered them really well.
Yeah.
Perfect,
so
I think.
I think it was lucky that we rehearsed it because you covered my ass earlier at the very beginning of the show. But yeah, that was great. And I think from that fun that we had in the live show, we're we want to keep doing stuff after work or whatever. So let's just do a web series.
And I think the structure was good for me too, just being able to go, because having a bit of a struggle with being creative, with being able to go, all right, Tuesday nights or whatever it is, we go on your joint and we're going to cook some food and we're going to fucking make a video.
Yep.
And it was just really good to exercise that. And the amount of stuff we came up with on the spot, and the amount of stuff that didn't even make the cut, because we were filming for an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, and cutting these things down to 6 to 10 minutes.
And we've got all that footage. I mean, we can make another series of
the
deleted
B-roll.
scenes. Yeah.
That's it. We totally could. But I had a great time, and thanks for asking me along for that, man, because I was flattered that you would ask a dude who has no actual fucking experience doing it to come and be a part of your career.
But it's I don't know, you meet someone with the same sort of sense of humor, and I feel like sometimes I'm making jokes and I'll say it to people who are in comedy and they just sort of look at me blankly.
So a lot of people in comedy aren't funny.
People suck at comedy that do comedy.
Yeah, big interpersonal jokes. It's not, well, do you not want to be funny because you want to save it all for the stage? Because what's going to have a giggle with me, mate? I'm not going to steal your material.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I'll say stuff and I'm like, am I not funny? And then, but I'll go to other people who aren't in the industry and they're just regular people, and I'll say, "What about this joke?" Or come up with something off the cuff, and they'll actually enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm like, these are the kind of people I fucking like. Why am I trying?
They're your audience, not your colleagues.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the thing is that even if they did find it funny, they wouldn't give you anything. I'm not saying it's anybody we know, but I know that you're in the industry and you see a lot of people when you go on the road or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that they're probably, because their job is humour. You know what I mean? I'm sure that they're like, well, Cody, that was a great joke. I think you need to work on this and this. They'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Some people, that's the most annoying thing when you're just telling a joke to be like a normal fucking person. Going to a gig or whatever, and there's a comedian there that's just like, yeah, you should change it to it should be you in the situation as opposed to that. It's just like, oh fuck, I didn't want to do a fucking crash course.
That's right. We're not having a clinic here, mate. Maybe when you steal the joke, you can do it that way. Yeah. And a lot of the times I've seen this happen before in front of my eyes. Where people will do that. They'll hear you say something and then they'll use it pretty much immediately and slightly change it. That's Rogan. Who's that guy who was?
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, Mencia. That was very fun.
Yeah, that's a very good thing to watch on YouTube. But it's the comedians that I have the most fun with doing gigs around Australia, like country towns and stuff, are just like the down-to-earth, funny, not taking it too serious. And, you know, maybe the guys who are taking it serious, they're going to get somewhere, but I'm like, I'm not, I don't think I'm in it to be fully dedicated. I've got too much other stuff on. But I just like going to have a good time.
Well, that's what you got to do. And life's for living. You know, everyone goes, I've been in music for a long time, and people go, man, music is my life. And I'm like, is that all? You know, there's a lot more than that. No, music is music is what you do, and for a hobby, or B for a career, or whatever. Yeah. But it's not your life. Your family, your friends, your hobbies, all these other things, they make up your life. Your life is a lot of stuff. It's not just the one thing. And you've got to do that. And I think if you want to do that with comedy, you make it your life, then that's boring as fuck. But
I couldn't do it.
But the thing is, there's comedy in everything.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it can be part of every aspect of your life. That's fantastic. But if all you are dedicated to is telling jokes, excuse me, this coffee, telling jokes on the road to people, that's kind of shit. But you can still do all these things and have a career in it. If you want to do it, you can just change it to be, you know, for example, this thing, that little TV show thing, what we were doing.
TV, yeah.
You know, the bloody TV show that we were doing over there.
Yeah.
Bloody shit.
Yeah, it's like, I think that if you can, the most successful people in the world are people who dedicate their life. And, you know, you look at people like Bill Gates, or the people like of that 1%, all they do is work all the time. And that's all they've ever done is work on the same thing. And then that's their success. But I don't know, maybe there is something in it, but I just find it terribly.
I don't want to work either, Cody. I don't want to work for
I don't want to be Bill Gates.
I don't want to be successul.
Yeah, I'd rather I like having my fingers in all the pies.
That's right.
A little bit.
Because at the end of the day, when you go like this,
you get a little taste.
Yeah, you get a taste of every finger and you got a different flavour on each.
Yeah, that's right. But you never have a full pie, which is the problem.
Oh, shit.
It's like I love me jiu-jitsu, all me fighting, and I dip me toe in that field. And it's hard to, I don't know how all these guys like Ronnie Chang and these guys, they do jiu-jitsu and they're committed to jiu-jitsu, and then they do comedy after. I suppose it would be easier if you're actually getting paid to do comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you've got the day to yourself.
But how do you get to that point?
For me, jiu-jitsu takes up all of my mental. Thinking like I come home from jiu-jitsu, I'm like, something happened. I shouldn't have done that. I fucked up. I've got to work out how to get better. And that's all my energy. It's just like, how do you go to a comedy gig straight after a jiu-jitsu class after you've been strangled to death and then be funny? Hard work, I suppose, but it's too hard. I don't want to do that.
That's two types of different hard work, though. You know what I mean? Like, the physical aspect, and people think that people that are physical are meatheads, but that's a lot of tactile stuff. A lot of figuring out things. Like to be able to take someone, and I don't know a lot about fighting. You know a lot more about this than I do, but to be able to take someone to the ground, is a fuckload of calculations. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And you see like professional wrestlers, they've got it down to such a fine art that they'll just hit the person at the right angle. And it's that tipping point, you know, they're just able to find what will take you off balance, what will take your core out, and bang, straight to the ground.
And I'm sure they're not doing the calculations like the professors, as they say.
Yeah, like the professors.
I love that. That's very funny. Yeah. They're not doing like, you know, all the mathematics, but they see and they can understand that the physics of the idea is
it's muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory, but also you can see this amount of, you know, the weight is going to be above a certain point. You go, okay, well, that's the weak point. And instantaneously, within a second.
Yeah, you've done it so much that it's become your...
And then you run at a man and you put your fucking body into his body and clash and make love fight.
Yeah, you can make love. You can.
I mean, you know, that's it happens, but maybe not on the mats at the gym.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Who knows, man? Like, hard work probably pays off, but... I like to have...
Just refuting this fact that hard work pays off by, you know, I don't know, hard work probably pays off. I wouldn't know. I've never done any.
I just like doing this, you know, like you can... The internet's so good now, like you can make whatever you want and absolutely whatever you want.
You can they've got websites for everything, you see.
They do,
they've got a whole page dedicated to that, a whole web page on the computer.
Are you talking about Google?
Just for everything, you know.
They do, yeah.
Have you got google.com? Have you got that? We've got it down at the church, I see. It's filtered very heavily, but...
Yeah. It's
I think that, but yeah, just on the doing the show, doing the Eats show, like there was it was a good thing for us to be able to get together and hang out. You know what I mean? Because like,
first of all,
being, you know, you at the time were working a hell of a lot in retail, and was not having a great time with that.
Yeah.
And I am still working a hell of a lot in retail. having a lot better time because I like the industry that I'm in and I like the people that I work with. Not saying that you didn't like the people that you work with, but I'll tell you what, customers can be very, very hard work and it's very draining.
My fuse for disrespect is short.
Yeah, as is mine. I threw a man out of the shop physically a few days ago.
Yeah, and that's fair from what you told me, the way he was treating you. Like, fuck people, you know?
Don't turn your head to me and call me a fuckhead.
Yeah.
Call me a fuckhead. That's rude. Like, and
you wouldn't do that in any other setting. You wouldn't do that in an elevator.
No.
You know, one-on-one.
To anybody.
Yeah, to anybody. If you didn't open the door on the elevator and, oh, sorry, mate, and it closed on
you fuckhead.
No one would do that.
No.
Because like they think they're safe because you care about your job.
This person, like, I do care about my job, but I've at a point between Christmas and New Year, after the hardest retail time in the year.
Yeah.
And I mean, having a bit of a joke, picking on my hair, I can handle that. I can handle that because I've got Pocahontas fucking pigtails, and I'm totally happy to take a little bit of flack for that.
You're used to it. You know,
and I'm happy to give anything anyone can say about my hair. I can give back to them and make them laugh or feel like a cunt. But I won't normally try to make them feel like a cunt. I'll just be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, I fucked your mum. My mum's dead. I guess that's why she didn't move around a lot. Which is a line from Basketball, but it's a good line.
Yeah. That sort of trajectory. Yeah, like
just decreasing. Yeah. But then to come around the back of the counter, and when I pop my head over your phone to see what you're showing the other guy, to turn your head to me and call me a fuckhead and tell me that I'm trying to ruin a deal, and then when I ask you to leave from behind the counter, you don't do it, I'm going to physically remove you from the shop.
Yeah.
And give you a bit of a growl. You know what I mean? And that's the shortening of my fuse. That's probably if I were to ever shoot a bunch of people, that would be the turning point for me. It's like, and then he threw a man out of the shop and he thought he was unstoppable. Yeah. Because then on New Year's Eve I had an incident.
Yeah.
A man tried to flip my...
Yeah, you attract it.
Yeah, I've just got one of those punchable faces, I think.
I don't know, but like there's a certain sort of person that always attracts the violence, and I think
it's because I started to breed it I started some violence at work, sort of, and then it came back to me in the form
venom in you.
Yeah. So just to give the listeners a background on what happened, I sing for a cover band, and New Year's Eve we're singing some really, really 80s centric stuff, very 80s, very hair metal. And I was dreading it because it's so high and there's so much of it, but the gig actually went off without a hitch, without any negative feedback. It was 100%. I couldn't believe how well it went. It was probably the best gig that we've done.
Yeah, that's awesome.
3 songs towards the end of the song. This is New Year's Day, New Year's morning. This guy comes up and he's waving his hands as if to motion. No, stop. We already started this song. Like,
who is he? Just
some random guy. He apparently he was an out of towner, just some punter. And the bass player goes, I can't stop. We're already here. And so he was like, well, what the fuck? And then put his hands underneath my synth controller MIDI keyboard, flips it on the ground like a classic wrestling table flip.
Yeah.
And it hits the deck. And I've seen him and just seen red, and I've gone over to him and I've gone to I had a wireless mic and I'm gone to line him up for a hit.
With the mic?
Yeah, well, I had my mic in the hand and I was ready. I've got my hand over to fucking put on his shoulder and I'm ready to line this guy up. And I don't like to fight, because I couldn't. This guy could have fucking tombstoned me in a second.
Big dude.
Oh, yeah. Just solid old guy with a goatee, balding, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then the bass player's missus was over there and she's looking at me like, she's like, don't want to be that guy.
You never want to do that.
And there was a couple of friends of ours that are about to get married directly behind this guy. And I'm like, because I wanted to launch off my feet and hit this guy, but I didn't want Sarah and Jared's wedding to be ruined because the bride's got a broken leg because this fat fucker fell on him, you know. And I'm just talking about me, let alone the guy next to it. So I'm like, okay, let's not do that. And I'm like, angry, shaking. I'm like, stop the gig. And I go, stop the gig.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, somebody get this guy the fuck out of here right now, you know, like get this guy out of here. So then I just berated this asshole for like 2 minutes while the security dudes came in.
What were you saying to him?
Just like, fuck you, you are a fucking piece of shit. Pretty much I was like, we work our asses off to come here to buy this gear to play for these guys and have a good time.
Yeah.
Well, funnily enough, we were 4 bars into a song called Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, right?
Right, yeah.
And so we're trying to have nothing but a good time, but this asshole was trying to put a damper on it. So we berated him, and then we did a na 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 na.
The whole
na,
pub.
na na. The whole pub. Hey, and everyone's about to go goodbye, and I've just gone fuck off. And then at the end,
everyone get around you?
They laughed that. They laughed their heads off. They loved it. And then this is the regretful part for me.
That's how you deal with that shit, as opposed to punching him in the face.
Well, that's apparently I was told that I dealt with it very well. I didn't feel like I did because I was ready to murder this person.
So angry.
But here's the part, and I shouldn't really even say this, but this is the part where I felt a little bit of remorse towards the end.
Yep.
When I called the man a fucking retard with a hard R. I didn't you know what I mean? I didn't mean to say that, but at the same time, I really do believe that word when you use it as its Latin origin, meaning slow. And this guy was obviously slow to the uptake. I'm not picking on people with disabilities here.
Yeah.
I'm picking on a guy who was a little bit slow to the uptake, that maybe you should not go and ruin other people's stuff because they're playing a song that perhaps you don't enjoy. Maybe you should just step out the back in 3 minutes, because that's all the songs.
Go over dart, mate, and fuck off.
You fucking retard.
Yeah.
So I felt a little bit bad after that. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that over the PA. Oh my God.
Yeah, but hey, it's a word.
I think it's true, and I think he got banned from the place, and way to start.
Is he obviously it sounds like he's just a guy who has too much to drink.
Yep.
And he out of towner, was he?
Just that's the guy who owns the pub said, he's not from around here for sure. He's just come up for this weekend, and but he seemed like, when you're not shit faced, but you're drunk enough to want to go and
got Dutch courage.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't either. I'm pretty sure he would have had the courage in the first place, but he was getting really close to people all night and kind of elbowing them and stuff. Just
likes to fight. What a fuck. Yeah. That's and I feel like. Actually, maybe not. I was going to say that that's like an older generation thing, the fighting in pubs, but it's not, because we got young people punching
I think
guys
that's
in the street.
Misguided ego, I think, a lot of that, younger people. But the old guys are like, you go down to the swing and duck for a fight and a pint.
Yeah, if I put my pot upside down on the bar, it means I want to go everyone in the pub and wanker shit like that.
Exactly. If you've got an earring in your eye, you're a bloody poof or some shit.
Yeah, it's just wanker.
It's dumb stuff.
Shit.
Yeah.
Australian shit. Just pot upside down. That means I want. I remember my old boss when I was a tradie, when I was an apprentice, was telling me all these different things. If you put your pot at the bar differently, it means something.
Yeah,
or if you have your hands
sideways,
crossed.
it means you want to get a blowjob in the toilet.
It's just what the fuck?
Who came up with these?
Some guy.
So that everyone, when you turn 21, you're allowed to drink. They have a meeting at the pub, or 18 and you're allowed to drink.
We're going to lay down some ground rules.
All right, now listen. If you're in the pub,
I love that shit.
Just say you fancy your Sheila over the road, but she's got a hubby, right? So you put the spout of the teapot. They drank them out of a teapot back then. The spout of the teapot facing northeast. And then you slap a sticky note to your forehead that says "root me."
What is the go? There's so much old wanker fuckwit shit that's just cringeworthy, isn't it? Just
fuckwit shit. That's just very funny.
Yeah.
They say about blokes who wear white socks.
Yeah.
What he's got shoes on, obviously, or what are you trying to say? I got no idea.
Yeah.
What do you say about people with white socks? What the fuck does that mean? It's just socks. You know what I mean? I love the whole, assigning colours to people, and people with the pink is girls and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Someone said to me, I don't want that because it's pink. Why? This is at a music shop. It was with the ukulele. Because pink's for girls. And I'm like, colours have been around. This to this 6-year-old kid. I was like, colours have been around since the dawn of time. Humans have only existed for a few billion years or a few million years or whatever.
Yeah.
Colours have been around a lot longer than we've even had humans. So what do you like? It doesn't matter what you think it is. What do you like? Do you like purple? I love purple. If I had a favorite color, I don't, because I'm not 6, but if I had a favorite color, it would be purple, because it's so cool. It's like the mix of all of those things. So and I love Prince.
Prince inspired.
Love it. Absolutely. And even before I even knew who Prince was, I think it was just a great color. It's just good. And the thing is, it's half pink, half blue, sort of.
A favorite color is a weird thing to have when you think about it, and it's
it's pigeonholing yourself to that one. You've got to commit.
I like that. Yeah, you got to have everything. If you can get it in that color, I love that, because it's my favorite.
Yellow's my favorite. I fucking better get yellow. Fuck, I'm sick of yellow. Jeez, yellow everywhere.
And it's funny, I just like it. Green. It's aesthetically pleasing to me, like a Kermit the Frog green.
And the thing is, I think green's reasonably underused, but a lot of the time, I'm not huge on green cars. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think my family has, all of my mum's brothers are mechanics.
Right.
And they've always had this thing, and I didn't know about this until a few years ago, but apparently green cars are harder to fix.
What? People just don't want to go near it.
I don't know. Ask the paintings. They think that's a thing. The green cars.
Green cars are harder to fix. You don't get a green one, mate. It's too hard to fix.
That's right. So I've never had a green car, but the thing is, even before that, I'm like, a green car, really? A booger on wheels? But the green's a great one that I think is underused, and when used, should be used with grace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not always. I mean, like, would you call this unnamed beer can here? Would that be a green or a blue?
I'd be looking at that and go, that's a blue, but I'd also be searching in my brain for a teal or some sort of.
In periphery vision, I think that looks to me.
That's blue and yellow.
A little green, but yeah, probably because of that blue and yellow aspect. But green's a good time.
Yeah,
green is a good time.
Yeah.
My goodness, but back again on our topic we keep straying from, but that's fine because we got plenty of time. We do what we want here. We make the rules.
We make the rules. That's
right.
why we're doing a podcast.
Exactly, and that's why podcasts are great because everyone's got one. They're like assholes.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have a podcast called Opinions Are Like Podcasts because everyone's got one.
Well, they say 2020 is the year for podcasting.
That's right.
They say, but I would have thought about 2005 was.
I think, you might be right there.
I don't know. We'll give it a run.
I think they mean it's the year everyone has one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everyone has to have one.
When you get your birth certificate, it's got your fucking download code or your
RSS feed.
Yeah, it's got your RSS link for your new podcast. Yeah. But I think one of the good things about doing the Eat series was kind of just, it was good for me because I suppose we started that on the retail thing about kicking that guy out, just being able to go somewhere that wasn't my normal two environments, which is home and work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just go and hang out with mates and cook some food and have a laugh and fuck around and then go back to sleep and then go back to work.
And it's like exercising your creative. You're creative.
And in a different way too for me.
Yeah.
Like in a completely different way. I've never done anything.
Yeah, because you'll sit down at a synth and fucking I've seen you go into sort of like a trance state almost where it's like.
I don't make trance music.
No, but you're like, you'll be there just like, you'll fuck off. Yeah. You'll go mentally to another place. And I do the same thing when I'm having a good comedy gig or this sort of shit. Your fucking flow state is exactly what it is.
That's why we're here.
And that's why we're here.
But like the synths, you just mentioned synths and I just want to talk about them because I love them. They're time machines. They're time machines because like you said, when I'll sit down at one and I will just spend, like you see my eyes just change shape.
Yeah, I could be talking to you. I could be like, hey, you're a big ass, poo ass fuckhead.
And I'll sample it and turn it into a beat.
You seem to not even hear it.
Oh, I hear it. I just don't say anything. Just
too focused on the keys.
But there's so much fun. Like you can just I've got a couple here just for table dressing. But there's a drum machine and a bass little mono synth. But
I thought it was a cash register.
Well, I did make that stand to look like a cash.
For those listening, it's an old. What is it?
It's not old. It's new. It's these are reasonably new. It's the Korg Volca beats and the Korg Volca bass. But I made this stand to look like an old thing.
Oh right.
Yeah. And
I'm looking at that going. That's the 70s.
Because these just pop out. Well, I wanted it to look like a 70s style console.
That's cool.
And these actually pop out and they're just really kind of flat. And I've modified this one.
Right, and you've set them up.
Yeah, set them just so they look a bit
cool.
more presentable and they're reachable. Because if they're on the ground, they skate around and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the Volca beats and the Volca bass, but even then they're regarded as toys, in the synth community. But they're pretty powerful. They're a lot of fun, and you can just veg out with them for hours.
I'm in no way. I have no idea how synths work. But when I come over to your house and there's the little Yamaha fucking. I don't know what it is.
That was a Yamaha Reface DX I sold.
Is that a synth?
It is a synth, yeah.
Yeah, I was just making shit up. Like I don't know chords or anything, but I was just feeling around, and then I started getting some stuff happening, and I had a really good time.
And because we were doing that for like an hour, maybe, weren't we?
Yeah, we live streamed it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and that was. We should put a link to that somewhere too. It was,
I've got that. Yeah.
Just on the phone, in the corner, and fucking, it was a good time, wasn't it? And you did stuff that sounded good.
Yeah, it was
with
like
no knowledge
working together. Yeah, we got into a
flow state.
Yeah. We can't keep saying that. But it was like I was hearing what you were playing, and when you're just feeling that you're like, oh yeah, if I hit this now, you're grooving. Yeah, you'd be used to that, but that was new for me. It's playing music with someone else.
And that's the thing. As you get used to it, it becomes less important. I mean, it becomes less exciting. So it's good.
Yeah, I was really excited. It's like, this is awesome. And you were sort of like...
Well, I was excited because I might not have been expressing it because I was zoning in. But when you do that with someone new, I suppose it's like sex. It's exciting with new people.
Yeah,
right. I suppose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was exciting to me to be able to do another new thing with a different person because when you do it on your own for so long, just like sex, when you do it on your own for so long,
exactly,
gets a little mundane, gets a little boring, and you start running out of new creative ideas.
I don't know if it gets too boring. Yeah. No, like you say, it's like a time machine.
Definitely.
Is that because? Yeah, because it's it's like the freedom of doing whatever you want, and you can make whatever you want.
Exactly.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing about like living where we live in now, time wise. We got access to the internet. You can make a song whatever you want, and I don't think a lot of people think about it this deeply. You know what I mean? But music, comedy, content, whatever you're doing, business, you can create whatever you want. The freedom's there.
And all you need, and I suppose the only obstacle you have, I suppose, is obviously we all need to eat, and we need to use our time to generate tokens to give to the people that let us eat. It's what it is. You're whoring yourself for tokens.
You are, yeah. And you're selling your time for
for tokens.
For tokens,
which is fine.
Credits.
So the only, I suppose, is the time. It's time management. You know, do you want to have a relationship? Do you want to have a friendship, or do you want to play with synths for all the hours that you're not at work? Because I've done that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's the point of the matter is that if you can manage your time in such a way that you can still be mentally fulfilled and not really, going postal with rage because all you do is work and sleep, then you can do those things. You can be very successful in just simply, like you say, making one song that happens to be a pretty good hit or whatever, putting it somewhere that people are going to hear it, and making sure you upkeep that.
Yeah,
you can make money off that, and you can exit the system of slavery.
You can. Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. That's the worldwide dream.
That's right, and open that up to do whatever it is that you want to do after that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I suppose that would be, would you say that would be an all-time goal? I mean, everyone thinks selling out is a problem. I think selling out is the solution, because everyone's like, if a company offered me a lot of money to say their brand is good, and I believe that, I would say it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even if I didn't believe it, if it was enough money. I mean, selling out's not bad. Snoop Dogg's in kids' films. Yeah. Think of it that way. Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube.
He's got no business being in a fucking children's film.
I know, but he is. Yeah. And guess what? His family never has to worry about groceries again.
Yeah. So he did well.
He did well.
Yeah.
But if you can live in a world where the biggest gangster rappers who said basically fuck the police are in children's films, then what's so bad about selling out?
Yeah. If a company come to me and they were like, whatever it may be, like in high interest fucking same day loans or something like that. Yeah. And everyone would be like, why are you doing that ad for them? It's like, because
they
offered me fucking $5 grand.
Yeah,
60 grand. Yeah. I'm doing it.
Have you heard of Donnie Binet?
Donnie Binet, no.
Donnie Binet's hilarious. He's an Australian. He's from Sydney. Donnie Binet's not his real name, but I wouldn't want to be the guy to give that up, because because Donnie, if you're watching, please love me. I love you.
Who is he? A comedian?
Donnie Binet is a sex symbol.
All right.
Donnie Binet is a symbol for sex and everything that it means to, and not only that, but for romance and love. Donnie Binet is also the greatest musician on the planet currently. Just since Prince died, Donnie Binet has had to take that mantle up. He didn't want it, but he had to take it.
Is that right?
He is the new greatest. Smooth singing, the greatest bass player you've ever seen in your life. He owns an LM1 and a Lindrum. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, these are the legendary drum machines of Michael Jackson and Prince and others.
Right.
They're very, very expensive. He picked them up in the global financial crisis in about 2008 for a song. Those machines are worth now $5,000 and $6,000 to start.
Fuck.
He picked those things up for fucking nothing. So Donnie Binet he's offered every now and again ads, like positions on ads, to like, hey, do you want to come and do an ad for our bank? And he's kind of like, no. He doesn't want to do it, but that's cool because he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. The guy, I mean, I'm not going to speculate what the guy's pulling because everything's a struggle, but like, and you never want to ask somebody what they're doing. But this guy works so hard. He's always on tour in Europe, in the US, in UK, in Australia. Music. The guy is you can catch him twice a year in your hometown, in your local capital city.
Right, so he's just a touring.
Yeah, because he works so hard and he's recording new stuff. And I think he was a session player back in the day. He was a jazz bass player as well. Right. He was in a Tom Jones tribute band, I think, as a bass player.
Okay. Yeah.
He is amazing, and he won't necessarily sell out, but I think it's because he doesn't need to, because he's found a modicum of success in the industry that he feels comfortable on. So he doesn't need to go into MECU and do, hi, it's Donnie Binet here. He doesn't need to do that. Yeah. But hey, if they offered me the money.
Yeah. I need it. I'd do it. I'd do anything.
I'd do it right now.
Yeah.
Who did I say? MECU?
If you listen, we got two.
I don't want to favour one. If you've got any other, is it MECU or even a bank? Or is it insurance? What is it? Anyway, lucky you're with Amy Insurance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but I'd take that. But Donnie Binet, my goodness,
Donnie Binet. Yeah, I'll have to look up. I've never heard of Donnie.
It's fantastic. Well, I was going to say just on video topic. We were talking before about our videos and stuff like that. Donnie Binet's video clips. If you haven't seen them, oh man, there's one called Konnichiwa, and it's one take on it's a camera rig operated shot, and a friend of mine who's reasonably successful film gentleman who does some ads and stuff. He's in charge of the camera department at one of the universities in Melbourne. Right. He expressed to me that the video clip that this guy made would have been worth at least $60,000. And he either is doing really well or knows a guy with a rig who wanted to practice. And this video clip for Konnichiwa is
really
just ridiculous. All of his clips are
cinematic.
It's so good. There's Donnie Binet in this video clip appears like maybe 40 times, like in the same one shot, but there's multiples of him.
Right. And is the camera moving?
The camera's moving the entire time. Yeah. It's a tracked shot, 100% tracked shot, and then he's been in on several different takes, but it's brilliant.
I like that sort of. Mumford & Sons did one years ago that was like that. It was it was in the middle of this big hall, and it was a tracked shot, and it was just going around in circles, and they would be in different positions playing different instruments, but they were next to each other. They just kept popping up and appearing. Yeah. I thought that was really fucking cool and a good way to use the tricks of cinematography.
There's another guy I like called Mayor Hawthorne, and he's also a singer for a band called Tuxedo. But Mayor Hawthorne, when he was on his solo thing, he has this one song that he would do, and every time that he performed it live, he would put on this gigantic ring of GoPros.
Oh, right.
That would cover his head. It's probably like a 6 foot...
like a hat.
Yeah. Sort of like a hat. It was just on stands, and it would just encompass encompass his head. Yes. And he would sing this song, and it was like, it's called Richard. Richard, hello. I don't know. But anyway, and every time he sung this song, he put this thing on, and then they'd cut the video clip, and the video clip was made up of a ton of shots of that ring, like GoPro
changing
rig.
From different...
different angles all around his head.
That's amazing.
It was kind of like that Matrix bullet time thing, but with GoPros.
Yeah. Like around, like it would go from one camera to the next camera. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unreal. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Should I put references down to these so we can link them or something later?
Yeah, If you're interested in this, let's put some links at the end.
So we'll go Donnie Binet, Konnichiwa.
So look these up if you're just listening. But if you're watching the video, we'll put it down in the description on YouTube, and we'll put it in the comments on Facebook.
Fantastic.
We'll also put a link to some of our stuff as well.
Absolutely, and we should, because I think they're very funny. I mean, I've had nothing but good feedback from those. I mean, anybody who had bad feedback probably wouldn't offer it because they wouldn't want to seem like an asshole, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Because I'm like, oh, you guys need to do more. I don't need to hear any of that. We know what we need to do. We're just doing the best we can with what time we have. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You guys should, and it's like, yeah, I know that. We know, like, to think that we haven't thought of that is an insult. Not really, but you know what I mean.
It's like, the ultimate insult, and I think we've spoken about it before, is when people say, you guys have too much time on your hands.
I fucking hate it.
It's because what they're saying there is like, this is shit, I don't like it, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
And my immediate...
Fuck you, what have you done?
Exactly. My immediate response to that is, well, how did you utilise your time? Did you watch reality television in 60 Minutes and shit?
Yeah, you can only assume.
Exactly. Like, I don't even have the antenna plugged into my television because it's fucking garbage. But, like, you've got too much time on your hands. Like, how fucking dare you? Because... There's a fly in here. Because there's a lot of things that one could do with their time, and if it takes me 5 minutes to make a sarcastic photo that sums up something, blah, 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 and you're going to tell me I've got too much time on my hands while I'm having a shit, then you didn't use your toilet time wisely.
Yeah, exactly.
Bastards. Disgrace. But that's...
But you gotta have the haters.
Yeah.
You do have to have them.
You got to have them.
I've grown to appreciate doing badly in a way, like people not appreciating what you do.
I love you just like, I suck and I got used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're doing... I've been doing comedy for about live stand-up comedy for about 5 years, which isn't long in the scheme of things, but it's long enough to have experience. It's not long enough to be excellent at comedy. I think 10 years, 15, it's like a 15-year apprenticeship, I reckon, to become a great comedian. But I've been here long enough to have really good gigs where I fucking feel cool about myself and happy. And now I've had gigs where people, you can just tell people... For the first 2 years when I'd have a bad gig, I'd be like, fuck this, I've got to get out of here. I can't make eye contact with anyone. I've got to get in my car and fucking leave. And I'd never want to do comedy again. 2 weeks later, I'd come back and have a good gig. But as the years progressed, get up on stage, try out new material, and it's going badly. And you can see people just like big fat men, especially middle-aged men, just looking at you like... with a look on their face like they're trying to crack a safe, looking at you, like, what is the meaning of this?
I took my holidays to come and see this.
Yeah, that's right. And it's just like, I love that now. I love looking down at the crowd and seeing an aggressive looking man.
Discomfort.
Just unhappy with what he's seeing. That's comedy to me. It's just like, he thought it was going to be good and it's not good.
I suppose... Because more importantly than making them laugh, if you can make yourself laugh.
Yeah.
Use them as fodder.
I'm not insecure about it because I know I've got good material.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gets me by.
Yeah.
Because I've had good gigs. I've had them. But to think that you're going to go up on stage, there are some people that go up on stage and fucking destroy all the time.
Yeah. You can't do that though.
I can't do that.
How do you ever know? It's like a fighter, you know, if he goes and gets a first round knockout in 10 seconds, he's probably not a good fighter. He's just good at doing fucking king hits, right?
King,
you know what I mean? They call him the king, Cody the King Jones, because he can king hit in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, look at that. Boom. On the ground in front of target and fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you've got to be tested.
Yeah, you've got to lose. How do you know what it's like to win if you've never fucking lost? You know what I mean?
You've got to lose and you've got to find your comfort in losing as well, I think, in life.
Because get used to it, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, the fucking storm's coming. If it hasn't come to you yet, it's coming. Something's going to happen.
Someone told me the other day that apparently misery doesn't peak until you're 47 and a half years old. And I was
awesome.
Fuck. You mean it gets worse? Like it gets worse than this? Fuck. Oh, no.
Yeah. Life is suffering, man. There's no doubt about it. Some people have more suffering than others.
I think it's how you process it and what your perspective is, because you can let it get to you.
Yeah. And like it or not, it probably will get to you at some stage with the, depression epidemic. And it will get to you.
It'll get you.
That
should be the slogan for depression. Depression is fucking coming for you.
Yeah. Because it is. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's just around the corner.
That's right.
For some.
It's just sometimes it's not even just around the corner. It's knocking on your doorstep and it's in your kitchen. And that's okay too. And if you have any trouble with that, call somebody who gives a fuck, because I certainly don't. No, I do.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that where do you draw the line on making jokes? You know, can you make jokes about that? I think you should. I think
if there's anything you should laugh about, it's the fucking horrible stuff.
Exactly, because you need to laugh about it. And the thing is, a lot of people who have problems with depression, people think they don't want to talk about it and like it's insensitive to talk about it. But you know, if I went, I've got some great suicide jokes and I think they're hilarious. But you got to pick your audience, obviously.
Of course, yeah. You don't want to go do retirement home bloody.
Yeah, and go, how about that, terminal cancer? Hey,
dementia.
Exactly, dementia. Well, I'll tell you, you're going to fucking forget anyway. But I think, that's that point you were talking about, this is like what's safe comedy versus you want to push the envelope a little bit. It's like, can you joke about that? Yes and no. You can, but you shouldn't, should you? Where is the environment that's correct for that? And wait for the shitstorm of like, I saw this comedian on TV and he was laughing about suicide. He should be, and then they strip you of everything. You lose your job, you lose your life. You're fucked, basically. But
Why?
And then you ultimately kill yourself due to depression that they created for you joking about depression in the first place, which you probably had, which is the reason why you joked about it, to cope with the depression that you had. You know what I mean?
Mm. But I see the problem right now is even simply not even they don't listen to the content of the joke. The people who hate these jokes, like they're not listening to the content. They don't even give a fuck about the intent of the joke, which is everything. Everything relies on the intent and who your target is in the joke. But no one listens to that. He spoke about this subject. He's a comedian. He's making light of it. That's it. That's their argument. It's like he's an artist or she's an artist. They're making. Why is it okay for a movie to portray like a violent sex scene and no one raises a fucking doesn't say a thing? Well, maybe not nobody, but you know, why can't a comedian in a comedy club try and weave a joke through a horrible subject, especially when it's done well? It's like I watch great comedians navigate. Like Gervais does it brilliantly. He navigates through. He's walking a very fucking thin line, you know, and he's crossing it here and there. And I think that's okay because his target. He knows what his target is. His target sometimes is to offend and to cause outrage.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he doesn't, and I think that's why he does what he does so well.
It's pretty good to watch, but he picks his audience. Like he'll go to he knows that he wants to go and cause outrage and upset everybody at the Golden Globes. So he'll do a monologue.
It's expected. He got asked for a fifth year, or how many years in a row?
5, 6.
He's done this before, and they know it didn't go well, quote unquote. It went great, but that's why they asked him again because they knew what he was going to do.
Exactly, and his character in comedy is so good. Like he wants to always maintain his lower status. Yeah. The only way you can do it as a billionaire is
he a billionaire?
He'd be close to it, wouldn't he? I don't know.
He's closer to being a billionaire than I am.
Yeah, so he's a billionaire.
I'm closer to being homeless than I am to being a billionaire. You know what I mean? I think we all are. Most of us are.
But you watch his character and you know what he's doing. He's trying to be lower status,
just a commoner, regular guy.
Yeah,
he's trying not to let his money get to him, I suppose. Well, he's not trying. He's not letting his money get to him. He's happy having money, and he talks about that.
It would ruin his...
Yeah, but he also doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, like his jokes are so middle class that he can hang on to his middle class, you know.
Yeah. He's a funny man. He's a very funny man.
He is, yeah. But I like watching, back on the subject, I like watching him take a horrible subject and just fucking weave through it, you know. He's pretty good.
Very pleased to watch Dave Chappelle's special, and because he had I said I had like some gags about suicide that I think are funny but probably wouldn't fly everywhere.
Yeah.
Chappelle made a gag in that first part of the new special that he put out. I can't remember the name of the special.
The one that caused all the outrage.
Is that the one? I thought it was the one about the trans people that he caused all the outrage. But anyway, this particular one, he was talking about Anthony Bourdain, how Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. And Anthony Bourdain was a man who had a lot of money. He had dinner with the most interesting people. That was his job. It was to eat and to cook for the most interesting people in the world. And he killed himself. Whereas he's got a guy he went to school with, got married straight out of college, then got divorced and lived with his mum, and he's 50 years old and he works at a service station. And he goes, it didn't occur to this guy to kill himself.
Yeah, you know I remember the joke.
And that's the thing is, a lot of people, they think like suicide is a cowardly thing and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's probably the most courageous decision some people will make, is because you're thinking, this is terminal, right? Yeah. If you're thinking this is what I have to do, that's obviously you need to get help, and I don't think you should do that because there's always a way out of that. But I think, like in the comedy sense, life's not for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're looking at it from a comedic perspective,
you know what? Is that what you really want? We should all be happy. Would you be happy you're dead? Yeah, well, fuck it. Go on. Life's not for everybody. But that's as a comedy skit.
Yes. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not something that should be made fun of. Made fun of. You shouldn't pick on somebody for that, and you should never. You
shouldn't go, ha ha, you killed yourself. Yeah, exactly. Your family's ha ha.
Yeah, ha ha.
Look, you don't have a son. You know what I mean? You should never do that. No fucking good comedian would ever do that.
The ripple effect is massive, and you know what I mean. It's like that. You would never pick on somebody who'd been through a hard time. But I mean, like, you know,
it's horrible. Yeah.
There's no if or but about it. But I mean, there's humour to be found in everything. And if your way of dealing with your own experiences, for example, was to go, you know what, I was thinking about fucking topping myself and, I was looking at it. Oh, maybe I could go. Oh, I couldn't do that. And you're obviously dragging yourself down. You go, well, guess what? Life's not for everybody. It is. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Life's for fucking literally everybody has one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not everybody should. No, maybe no.
Maybe not.
There's some bad motherfuckers in the world. You know what I mean?
Horrid,
and I think for every good person that tops himself, there's a bad person that probably could be dead.
Yeah. You're right. Absolutely right.
You know what I mean? We should rechannel that energy. You know, if we're channeling death, we should. You know, who gets to say what goes? But you know, there's a lot of people. I mean, look. People rape people. People kill kids. People do that stuff. Maybe why didn't those people consider that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some people you just wish they did consider. Yeah, no, it's fine. You just sometimes
Episode 1, guys, discussing the finer points of suicide and depression with child rapists.
Jesus.
Hang on, we're not with child. No, fuck it.
There's no coming back.
We're done now.
Yeah,
we're done. We're going to be on The View.
We'll get cancelled.
Hey, our podcast is going to be on The View, guys. Yeah, check it out. The View tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Fucking jeez.
Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Well, let's put a fucking nail in the coffin of that one, so to speak.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? Like, what's the plan for next year?
For coming up this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to release heaps of podcasts. That's priority number 1. So what you're listening to or watching now, you're going to see a lot more of this. It's going to be great. We're also going to do a second web series, and it's going to be basically eats, but we're going to be doing crafts. We're going to be making various things.
That's it.
And having a laugh along the way.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
We're interested. There's some things that I'm experienced with, like painting and stuff like that. There's some stuff we've never tried, molding with clay. I've got some tools for it. But never actually done it, and we love a good piece of clay, so
we do.
We're quite happy with that. We could perhaps, I think, at some point we're considering doing maybe like a stream of video games, us playing some video games.
Yeah, we'll be playing PlayStation,
just to see how that goes. We don't know how that's going to work out, but we actually play. I think our relationship was founded on PS4. To start with.
Yeah.
When we first met, we started playing PlayStation together basically after, I suppose we met during training, which you obviously kept up and I obviously didn't.
You'll be back, man.
Oh, I will be back and I'm really looking forward to it.
I think also what we might do is like look at doing more live stuff.
Yeah.
That's definitely something we could look at doing throughout the year. And, you know, we'll have guests on the podcast as well as we go through the year. Not every episode, not every episode will have a guest, but we look to have a guest every 3 or 4. Someone interesting, you know?
Yeah, interesting to us, maybe not to you, but we're interesting enough to you to want to come back and watch those and check out who we chat to, because everyone's got something different to offer, you know.
Yeah,
everybody's got something to talk about, and
everyone does. Yeah,
I think we'll probably do some more funny skits. You know, we've been brainstorming some ideas for stuff. Like, for example, we'll cut across to one now. We've actually got a field agents out there that are answering questions from yourself, the viewers. So if we just want to cut over to Broden and Cody, they'll answer some questions. Broden and Cody. Surprise! It's just me. Ha 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 ha. So today's question comes from Steve Bradshaw. Now, Steve's a bit of a legend. He actually famously played the cross-dressing love interest in a country music video clip by my friend Doug Bruce called The Tears. And Steve asks us, hey guys, what would happen if a duck drank a stubby of beer? Well, pretty safe to say he'd be ducking pissed, Steve. Thanks, mate. Bye. So some more stuff like that, I suppose you'll see a little bit of skits. I mean, that one was a bit late in the game, but if you retained your composure this long with us, then hopefully the payoff is going to be good. We hopefully be having a good time.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, we've both got obviously personal goals that we want to meet. I want to make some more synth videos. I've got some unreleased synth videos that you probably will see through the course of the year.
Yep.
You know, finish off a bit of music, learn some more magic tricks. I love magic. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll do some magic together. We'll teach you some tricks. We'll see if we can
come
some stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, new shows are going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
We're having a good year.
We'll be talking about all kinds of things from synths to PlayStation to fighting to cups of coffee to what kind of beers we like.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have a chat with Scotty Toll again.
Scotty Toll, owner of the Hop Supply in Bendigo. Yeah.
So Scotty's a beer expert. He claims that he's the humblest guy. He wouldn't claim to be an expert, but he knows what he's talking about.
He does, yeah.
He's
if
really
you definitely if you're around Central Victoria, Bendigo, get into the Hop Supply and grab a beer. It's the best bottle. Many people have said this. best bottle in Australia. So, yeah, great selection of beers. We've actually got a few here that we can't really plug. But
yeah, well, unless they want to pay us to plug it, we're quite happy to take your filthy money.
Absolutely.
We're quite happy.
But, yeah. So make sure that you jump online and follow Broden and Cody on Facebook. If you just search us, like the page, because that's where all the content will go. You can find us on YouTube as well under the same name. Every episode of Cody and Broden and Cody Eats is available. It's
alphabetical. Don't stuff that up.
Mate. Yeah, it's alphabetical. And yeah, obviously every podcast episode will be available on YouTube and as well as iTunes as well.
Wherever else we can cram it.
We'll hopefully cram it Spotify as well.
We'll just cram it all up in there. Jam it in
your
bumhole.
Jam it in your
ear hole.
Yeah.
I suppose I should congratulate you, Cody, on a very well-spoken and entertaining episode 1.
Yeah, and thanks, Broden, for being here. Thank you to everyone who's listened and watched.
That's right.
We appreciate it.
You.
We'll see you in the next one.
We will. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.